Yo, what's up traders? Welcome to a new video. In this video, I'll be showing you a nice trend following strategy that you can use. I'm using 5 indicators for this trading strategy. And as you can see, I'm using an indicator that I used before, but now I'm combining it with multiple other indicators. Without further ado, let's start right away. Alright, I'm looking at the Euro USD chart, and this strategy can also be applied on crypto charts and also stock charts. By the way, comment I subscribe so I know exactly who my subscribers are and I'd like to interact with you guys. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, this will be a trend following strategy. So we really need to wait for a trend to occur because, yeah, of course, then our win rate will be the highest. So let me go over the indicators. So we head over to indicators, and first of all we are looking for supertrend. So yeah, you can use this indicator, but personally I'm using this one by Ozbilic, and you click 3 times on this indicator. Then we will be looking for a stochastic Rsi indicator, which is this one. So you click once on that one, then this is what you will see. So as you can see, I'm using the supertrend indicator 3 times, and I've already adjusted the settings. So let me go over the supertrend indicators first. Oh, before I forget it, I'm also using the exponential moving average. And yeah, you can use this one, or you can also, let's say, moving average, and then you can use this one over here, the moving average exponential. It's up to you, but yeah, for this trading strategy I'm using this one, the simple yeah, indicator. So not with 3 other indicators. Let me show you the difference. So yeah, now I'm using this one, and the other one, yeah, you will get 3 of the exponential moving average, and then you need to disable the other one. So yeah, now I'm just using the moving average exponential. Okay, over here, let me first go over the settings of the super trend. So over here, you need a 12 and a 3, and the ATR period 12, need to set it at 12, and the ATR multiplier is set at 3, and I'm also disabling the show buy sell signals. That is the first one. Then we go to the next one, and that is 11 and 2, and again show buy sell signals is disabled. And the last one needs to be set at 10 and 1, and again show buy sell signals needs to be disabled. Then we will be looking at the exponential moving average, and I'm using a 200 exponential moving average. And the last but not least indicator is the stochastic Rsi, and then I'm using the default settings, so 3, 3 and 14, and 14 again. So this is what you will be seeing after you have adjusted the settings, modified the settings. So as you can see, the trend, the super trend indicator identifies the trend. We also have the 200 exponential moving average that also identifies the long-term trend, and then we have the stochastic Rsi, and yeah, that shows when we need to enter the trade, right? When we take our entries, when we take our positions. And this indicator is an oscillator indicator, which means that we have overbought and oversold zone. So when it's overbought, it's above the 80. When it's oversold, it's below the 20. Okay, let me show you a sell signal. So over here, when do we take a sell signal? So first we wait for at least 2 super trend indicators that show us a sell movement. So yeah, it needs to be red, of course. So that is what we need to be looking for first. And as you can see over here, we have 1, and 2 super trend indicators that show us a movement to the downside. And then we need to wait. Of course, we are looking at the 200 exponential moving average. The price is also below the 200 exponential moving average. And then we need to wait for the stochastic RSI to show us a cross down. So as you can see, that now it's pointing upwards, and then we see the blue line crosses the orange line to the downside, and over here we see that we need to take the trade, because again the price is below the 200 exponential moving average. We see at least 2 super trend indicators showing us a red signal, and it's going to the downside. So at least 2, and then we need to wait for the stochastic to first come to the overbought zone, and then we need to wait for the crossover to the downside, and this shows us a sell signal. So then we take a trade, and where do we place our stop loss? We place our stop loss on top of the highest super trend indicator, which is about here. And then we take a 1.5 to 1 risk reward ratio, which means that this trade turned out to be a nice winner. Let me show you another example. Alright, over here we have the price is above the 200 exponential moving average, as you can see over here. And then we see 2 green lines. Well, first of course over here we see 3, but then about here we see that the second green line starts to appear here. Then we go down to the stochastic indicator, and then we see about here a crossover to the upside. It's still in a oversold zone, it's below the 20 level, and then we see a crossover to the upside about here, this candle. We place our stop loss below the lowest super trend indicator, which is about here, and of course we're risking 1.5 to 1 trade. We use the 1.5 to 1 risk reward ratio, and this turned out to be a winner as well. Another sell example over here. The price is below the 200 exponential moving average. We see 2 super trend indicators, at least 2 super trend indicators appear about here, because this is the third one, but that is green. So at least 2 indicators. We wait for the crossover to happen on the stochastic RSI indicator. That is hard to see. Maybe I can zoom in a little bit. First, the blue one is above the orange one, and then we see a nice cross, a small and fast cross to the downside over here, which means that we take the trade. And then, as you can see, it turned out to be a winner. And of course, I'm just cherry picking these trades to just show you when to enter and when you should not enter the trade, but not every trade is a winner. Alright, so it is possible that you won't receive a lot of trading signals, especially if you're only trading one pair. So what you also can do is that instead of waiting for 2 super trend indicators to show us a sell signal, so to show us a downwards move, you simply can take the trade as soon as the second super trend indicator appears. So normally we need to wait for 2 super trend indicators to appear, but you can take the trade when we see 1 super trend indicator pointing downwards. And of course we also see a crossover on the stochastic RSI, and then we wait for the second super trend indicator to appear, and as soon as it appears we take the trade, which is about here. We place the stop loss on the second super trend indicator, on top of the second super trend indicator, and we're targeting a 1.5 to 1 risk reward ratio, which is about here, and this is a nice winner. So you can also use that trading strategy if you think, well, I receive not enough signals. Okay, this will be the last example that I'm going to show you guys for people that do not understand the trading strategy, first of all, we look at our exponential move, 200 exponential moving average, which is about here. We see that the price is below the 200, right? So we're only looking for sell opportunities right now. Then we see that we have one super trend indicator, a red super trend indicator about here. And then we see that another super trend indicator starts to appear here after the close of this candle. So we have two super trend indicators pointing downwards. The next thing we do is we are waiting for the stochastic RSI to go into overbought zone, which is about here. So even though we have two super trend indicators pointing downwards, we do not do anything, right? Because our stochastic RSI doesn't line up. So we do not take any trades about here. We wait for it to go into overbought zone, which is above the 80 level. And then we see that the blue line crosses the orange line about here. And then we again look at our super trend indicators. We see that this is the first red indicator. And then we see that this is the second super trend indicator. Okay, we take the trade. We place our stop loss about here on the highest super trend indicator, or the second if we see 3 super trend indicators, but now we have 2, so we placed on the highest. And then we simply use a 1.5 to 1 risk reward ratio trade, which is here. As you can see, this is a nice winner, a nice trade. I think it's clear now for everyone to understand. Like I already mentioned, if you want me to test this trading strategy for 150 times, then give this video a like, subscribe, and yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.